The good and great United States is under attack. Well, not by an army, but by an invasion of creatures that don't belong. From hulking super pigs to toxic toads, these invasive species are unleashing chaos on ecosystems, ruining crops, and even threatening human lives. Some are multiplying at an uncontrollable rate, while others are driving native species to extinction. So, what actions have been taken to stop them? Today, we're diving into some of the most dangerous invasive species in the U.S. and the drastic measures being taken to stop them. Number 15. Wild boars. If you think pigs are cute, pink, and harmless, forget it. Wild boars are their chaotic and creepy counterparts. Larger, nastier, and infinitely more destructive. They can weigh up to 400 pounds and tear through landscapes like bulldozers with tusks, obliterating everything in their path. How'd they get here? Well, early European settlers brought them for livestock and hunting. Some escaped, others were released. Eventually, they bred with domestic pigs, giving rise to a new nightmare, the super pig. These hybrids are more intelligent, more durable, and far harder to stop. For farmers, they're a living disaster. They rip up farmland, crush crops, and decimate wetlands like it's nothing. Worse yet, they carry diseases transmissible to livestock, pets, and people. They cause billions in annual damage, and their population keeps climbing. Hunting is the only option to stop them. In Texas, it's a full-on culture. Festivals, rewards, and helicopter hunts are all part of the war, but these tusked invaders remain resilient. The fight continues. Number 14. Cane toads. They look like regular toads, but these brutes are armed with enough venom to kill a dog just by licking one. Native to Central and South America, they were brought to Florida and Australia to deal with crop pests, and it was a big mistake. They didn't just target pests, they ate everything. Now they're spreading fast, devouring native species and poisoning predators that try to eat them. Unlike normal toads, cane toads don't just excrete mild toxins. They release a thick, milky poison from glands behind their heads. One chomp, and your pet could be in critical condition. What's being done? In Florida, residents are taking charge. Community toad patrols search neighborhoods at night with flashlights, catching and humanely removing toads. In some places, toad-proof fences now line vulnerable habitats. Scientists are testing pheromone traps to lure them away before they breed. Their numbers keep climbing, but the battle continues, driven by awareness, science, and determination. Whether Florida wins this war is still uncertain. Number 13. European starlings. If history's taught us anything, it's that releasing animals for fun usually ends badly. Case in point, European starlings. These birds were brought to America for one bizarre reason: Shakespeare. In 1890, a wealthy enthusiast released every bird mentioned in Shakespeare's works into Central Park. About 100 starlings were unleashed. Now, over 200 million stretch across North America. Why's that a problem? Starlings are aggressive. They shove native birds like bluebirds and woodpeckers from their nests and dominate feeding spots. They also devastate crops, tearing through fruit and grain fields in massive flocks. Worst part? When millions of starlings swarm, they create chaotic murmurations. Beautiful to watch, deadly in the sky. In 1960, a plane crashed after flying through a starling flock, killing 62 people. Controlling them involves traps, loud deterrents, and culling programs. Predator calls and chemical deterrents help, but barely. Despite everything, they thrive. Shakespeare gave us beautiful prose, but unleashing starlings? That one decision turned into a century-long ecological disaster. Number 12. Lionfish. The U.S. is facing a full-blown reef crisis, thanks to lionfish. Striped and cute with venom-tipped spines, they might look exotic, but these Indo-Pacific predators are wrecking ecosystems across the Atlantic and Caribbean. First spotted in the 1980s, likely dumped by aquarium owners, lionfish found a predator-free paradise and multiplied fast. They devour native fish at breakneck speed, leaving reefs stripped and struggling. With females laying up to 2 million eggs yearly, their population skyrocketed. And they're relentless. One lionfish can swallow dozens of fish in a single feeding. To fight the invasion, conservationists are turning them into dinner. Spearfishing tournaments, restaurant campaigns, and eat the enemy movements have popped up nationwide. Some divers hunt full-time just to slow their spread. Despite these efforts, lionfish continue to expand their territory, putting reefs and biodiversity at risk. Their beauty masks their impact, and for now, the oceans remain locked in a battle against this venomous invader. Number 11. Fire ants. You're walking barefoot through your yard, enjoying the sun, when suddenly, sting. A burning jolt hits your leg, then another. Congratulations, you've stepped into the world of fire ants. These vicious invaders have swarmed the southern U.S., and they're not backing off. Originally from South America, they arrived in the 1930s through cargo shipments and spread like wildfire. They build huge underground colonies and attack anything that comes close. Their stings don't just leave welts. They can trigger dangerous allergic reactions in pets and people. But it doesn't end there. Fire ants are a serious agricultural menace. They destroy crops, infest homes, and even attack livestock, covering newborn animals in hundreds of stings. Damage estimates run into the billions. Stopping them is not so easy. One method involves parasitic phorid flies, which lay eggs in ants' heads. Other tactics include bait traps, pesticides, and boiling water. But fire ants are relentless, forming floating rafts during floods and spreading faster than we can contain. Number 10. Zebra mussels. They're small, they're sly, and they're costing the U.S. billions in damage. These invaders came from Eastern Europe, sneaking into North America inside the ballast water of cargo ships. When they reached the Great Lakes, it was game over. Zebra mussels reproduce insanely fast and latch onto boats, pipes, docks, even other animals. Their takeover has created an economic and environmental disaster. One big issue? They filter water so aggressively that they remove plankton, starving fish, and wrecking ecosystems. They also block pipes, ruin motors, and make boating dangerous with their sharp shells. So, how do we fight back? Boaters must now clean and drain vessels to prevent the spread. Scientists are experimenting with bacteria that kill zebra mussels without harming other wildlife. Public campaigns remind people to check their gear for hidden shells. But even with these measures, they're spreading fast. Sometimes it's not the large invaders that cause the most damage. It's the ones you barely notice until it's too late. Number 9. Japanese beetles. Japanese beetles might look like shiny emerald ornaments, but don't be Elon Musk. They're plant-munching machines. These little invaders eat almost anything green. Roses, fruit trees, vegetables, you name it, they'll chew it. Originally from Japan, they first appeared in the US in the early 1900s, likely hidden in imported plants. Since then, they've exploded across the country. Their signature damage? Skeletonized leaves, where only the veins remain like eerie green lace. But it's not just the adults. The grubs underground are just as destructive. They feed on grass roots, killing lawns and golf courses from below. The damage is expensive, wide-reaching, and hard to reverse. Gardeners fight back with hand-picking soapy water and pheromone traps, though those can attract more beetles than they catch. Scientists are also using beneficial nematodes, microscopic worms that attack the larvae. Neem oil and other natural sprays help too. Still, Japanese beetles are stubborn and relentless. Number 8. Giant African snail. If you think regular garden snails are harmless, slow-moving creepers, think again. These monsters are the kings of invasive mollusks, and just as filthy as they are destructive. They can reach 8 inches in length, bigger than your hand, and their appetite is insane. First detected in Florida, they've become an agricultural catastrophe. They chew through hundreds of plant kinds like vegetables, fruits, and even tree bark. On top of that, they carry a parasite that causes meningitis in humans. So how do you stop a slow-motion invasion? Dogs. Snail-sniffing canines are trained to detect their scent and guide inspectors. There are hundreds, maybe thousands, out there. From the earliest wave hiding deep in backyards, these monsters keep returning. Entire properties get quarantined. Awareness campaigns urge people to report any slime trails. In some neighborhoods, yards are combed thoroughly. The fight is ongoing. These sluggish creatures may be slow, but if ignored, they'll leave behind damage no one wants to clean up. Number 7. Burmese python. In the Florida Everglades, a silent predator coils through the wetlands. It has no natural rivals, stretches beyond 20 feet, and can consume an entire alligator. This is the Burmese python, a cold-blooded intruder that's transformed one of America's most unique habitats into its own territory. These massive reptiles didn't migrate naturally. Imported as exotic pets, many either escaped or were released once owners realized their snakes could eat their other pets. Florida's warm, swampy conditions gave them the perfect breeding ground. Today, tens of thousands prowl the Everglades, feasting on deer, birds, raccoons, even bobcats. With no native predators, their population has exploded. So how do you stop an apex predator? Florida's answer: the Python Challenge, an annual hunt where participants capture pythons for cash. Scientists also deploy Judas snakes, equipped with trackers, to locate breeding zones. Drones with thermal imaging offer another tool. Still, the Everglades remain locked in a brutal standoff with these unstoppable giants. Number 6. Nutria. Meet the nutria, a semi-aquatic rodent that looks like a cross between a beaver and an overgrown rat. These voracious herbivores are turning America's wetlands into wrecked wastelands, one marsh at a time. Originally imported from South America in the early 1900s for fur farming, they seemed harmless. But when the fur market declined, many were released into the wild. Now, they've taken over wetlands in Louisiana, Texas, and beyond. Nutria don't just nibble, they destroy. They devour wetland plants, causing massive erosion and eliminating habitats. They also dig deep into levees and riverbanks, damaging flood barriers and drainage systems. To curb the destruction, some states offer bounties. In Louisiana, hunters are paid for every nutria tail collected. And yes, they're even showing up on restaurant menus, chefs promoting them as eco-conscious protein. Despite all this, they're multiplying fast. Complete eradication is unlikely. But through trapping, hunting, and public awareness, the effort to preserve America's fragile wetlands continues, one swamp-chomping rodent at a time. Number 5. Asian carp. You're cruising down a calm river enjoying the breeze, then bam, a 30-pound fish launches straight into your boat. Welcome to the chaos of Asian carp. These aquatic invaders were brought to the U.S. in the mid-1900s to control algae in fish farms. But floods in the 1970s gave them a route to freedom. Once they reached the Mississippi River basin, they spread like wildfire. These carp aren't just big, they're hungry. They inhale plankton, leaving native fish starving. Their growth is explosive. One female can lay 1 million eggs a year, and they leap violently. Spooked by motors, they rocket out of the water, injuring boaters and damaging gear. Some weigh over 100 pounds. To stop them, electric barriers are installed underwater to block their path. Other experiments include sound deterrents and bubble curtains. The main mission? Keep them from reaching the Great Lakes, where they devastate the fishing industry. Scientists are racing the clock. These plankton-devouring acrobats aren't slowing down. Number 4. House sparrows. Some birds are admired for their songs or vivid feathers. Then there's the house sparrow, a small, bold invader more notorious than admired. These scrappy birds have taken over neighborhoods, farms, and city corners across North America. Brought from Europe in the 1800s to control crop pests, they've become one of the continent's most dominant bird species. They don't just compete for food, they seize nests, sometimes killing the birds already living there. Native species like bluebirds and swallows have suffered as house sparrows spread. They adapt well to urban life, building nests in gutters, traffic lights, and roof vents. They reproduce quickly and thrive anywhere humans do. Bird lovers are fighting back with specially designed nest boxes that exclude sparrows while protecting native birds. Others use deterrents like reflective tape or predator silhouettes. Some go further with live trapping. Still, house sparrows aren't going anywhere. Their aggressive behavior and adaptability have locked them in the U.S. Number 3. Spotted lanternfly. At first glance, the spotted lanternfly looks harmless. Its bright wings and speckled design seem almost ornamental, but this pest is anything but pretty. It's a sap-draining, tree-killing menace overrunning the northeastern U.S. Originating from Asia, it arrived in Pennsylvania in 2014, likely stowed away in a shipment. Since then, it's expanded rapidly, feeding on over 70 plant species, grapevines, hardwoods, fruit trees. Its feeding weakens trees and leaves behind a sticky substance called honeydew, which promotes black mold. Farmers are seeing crops decline. The public is urged to kill them on sight. Yes, stomp them. Entire communities now organize lanternfly smashing events. Some areas offer rewards. Sticky tree wraps catch them before they cause damage, but must be checked to avoid trapping birds. Researchers are testing parasitic wasps as a biological control. Despite efforts, the lanternfly continues advancing, leaving agricultural and environmental losses in its wake. The fight is intense, but stopping their spread completely remains a daunting task, still without a definitive solution. Number 2. Northern snakehead. You're fishing at your usual lake spot and hook something bizarre. It's sharp-toothed, eel-shaped, and stares you down like it owns the water. You've just met the northern snakehead, an air-breathing, land-walking predator that's rewriting freshwater ecosystems. Native to Asia, snakeheads appeared in Maryland in 2002, likely dumped from aquariums or fish markets. Since then, they've spread across U.S. waterways. They're apex predators, feasting on everything: fish, frogs, crustaceans, and even each other. They can survive out of water for days and move across land to reach new lakes. With no natural predators in the U.S., they outcompete native species and disrupt entire ecosystems. To fight them, some states hold fishing tournaments, offering rewards for every snakehead caught. Restaurants are also joining in, serving them as a sustainable delicacy. Scientists use electrofishing and, in extreme cases, toxic treatments to contain them. Still, the snakehead remains a pretty serious threat. Number 1. Kudzu. Imagine waking up to find your house, car, and mailbox buried beneath thick, leafy vines. That's kudzu, the vine that swallowed the South. Introduced from Japan in the late 1800s to prevent erosion, it was once promoted by the government. Seemed smart until it didn't. Kudzu grows insanely fast, up to a foot per day. It covers everything: trees, power poles, even entire buildings, turning forests into green deserts. The problem lies below. Its massive roots store energy for years, making it nearly impossible to kill. Herbicides help, but they must be applied often and aren't exactly eco-friendly. But there's a weird twist: goats. These four-legged weed whackers are one of the most effective solutions. They devour kudzu in places machines can't reach, all while fertilizing the ground. Goat rentals are now a real thing in the South. While goats alone won't wipe it out, they're a key part of the fight. If you've enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and we'll see you in the next one.